Hello, my fellow viewers and subscribers, and this is Supercholatemilkshake, and I am here playing a Wounded Land, Orcs Rising Stories. Whoops, actually, I probably should have this page up. The Wounded Land and Orcs Rising Stories. Okay, so I wasn't too far off of the title. Anyway, my bad. This was a game submitted to the Shake It Up Jam this year, and of course, it's a visual novel according to the creator. So it's going to be interesting to see how he handles fighting and management in this one. Well, let's see what this guy has to offer. Alright, so we're going to start a new game here. Okay, this is a visual novel. This may actually end up taking a while, but we'll see. The Orcs have endured countless years of oppressive rule of human and elves. Their lands have been pillaged, their families destroyed, and their kind relegated to nothing but brutes in the eyes of the so-called civilized conquerors. Okay, I see that. The humans and elves bask in the riches of their conquest. They remain indifferent to the suffering of the orcs. Their first occupation knows no bounds, but they're willing to do whatever it takes to maintain power over the world. Okay, then. But the alliance of the humans and elves live in constant fear of uprising by orcs who could unite their tribes and form an organized army to fight their freedom. I see. Every step of the way, humans and elves walk their guard up against their opponents. Many a potential threat to their rule. At the top of their targets are the orcs, who face brutal precision and marginalization to their oppressive regime. Amidst all this, the latest attack by humans and elves on an orc village has left a trail of devastation and loss, tearing apart what was once a thriving community. The smoke clears to reveal the horrifying aftermath of the carnage wrought by the invaders, leaving behind a trail of death and destruction in their wake. My screen just flashed black there for a few seconds. Despite all this, there remain the orcs who refuse to give in to despair of their situation. They're willing to fight and sacrifice anything to regain their freedom from their oppressors. Grolk, the skilled orc warrior, stands at the crossroads of his life, having lost countless friends and family in a brutal attack. He must decide whether they continue living as a victim or take up arms against the oppressors to fight for a better future for his people. He contemplates his next move. Grolk is presented with three choices that will shape his future. Grolk heard whispers of a possible orc resistance forming against the oppressors. Grolk decided to leave the village and venture out into the world, hoping to find allies and resources to stop the injustice. Fueled by grief and anger, Grolk fell to seek revenge against the humans and elves who took the lives of his friends and family. I think I would go with option number 2. I know this is going to change with whatever I choose, but the game froze. Oh, okay, good. Grolk is walking through the forest and he hears the sound of voices in the distance. He gets closer and sees a group of humans and elves surrounded a small group of orcs. The orcs are outnumbered and bound of chains. They are clearly being taken captive. Stay hidden and learn the situation more. Grolk decides to stay hidden and observe the human, elves, and orcs from the distance. Grolk witnesses the first-hand cruel treatment of orcs by humans and elves. Over time, Grolk becomes more convinced that there is only one way to bring justice and freedom to people through a united orc resistance movement. After a few days of research, Grolk found a small groups of orcs gathering in different tribes to rebel against the human and elf governments. After a couple days, Grolk rolls to see an orc village in the desert. The last location of the gathering of rebel orcs. The last known location of the gathering of rebel orcs. I'm sorry, I butchered that reading. Tria, what brings you here? I'm looking for information about the rebellion. And what makes you think we could trust you? You know, it's also kind of interesting how elves are in this, considering that actually orcs and elves are pretty much the same exact thing. Well, depending on which kind of lore you're going off of here. Because if I remember correctly, orcs are basically elves who haven't seen the light in years. But that's as far as I know. I have no reason to lie. I lost everything to the humans and elves, my family and my friends, my home. I want to fight back. How did you hear about us? I overheard some orcs talking about a rebellion. They mentioned this village is the last known location. And why do you think you can help us? I'm a skilled warrior. I fought against humans and elves before. Very well, we have a rapid raid plan on a human caravan. Are you willing to join us? Yes, I will do whatever it takes to strike back. Good, we need all the help we can get, but we also need someone to stay behind and keep guard. Are you up for that task? Yes, I can do that. Alright then. Welcome to the rebellion, Grolk. Okay then. Really? It gives me a choice despite the fact that it says, oh yeah, you don't have much of a choice. I mean, I would like to join the raid, but also keeping the watch on the Orc village probably wouldn't be a bad idea either. 2 days later, Grolk is on watch. He hears sound of approaching horses. He quickly realizes that the elite troop of human knights is approaching the village, intent on attacking. Grolk springs into action, alerting the Orcs and organizing the defense. Orcs quickly arm themselves to prepare for battle. Grolk is leading their charge. The human knights charge into the village. Grolk and Orcs fight back with all their might. Their battle is intense, with clashes of swords, shields, and echoings in the calm of the desert. The human knights are fierce opponents, but Grolk's leadership and combat skills inspire the Orcs to fight with bravery and determination. The battle rages on. Grolk makes a strategic decisions to defend the village. Using his knowledge of the terrain on the Orc strength to gain the upper hand, the Orcs fight fiercely alongside him, pushing the human knights back and preventing them from breaching the village walls. In the end, Grolk's leadership and bravery paid off. The human knights are defeated, and the great village is saved from destruction. The Orcs cheer and celebrate their hailing Grolk as hero and leader. Grolk, here's the result. Grolk earned respect from their tribe. He even gained the war titled Grolk the Unchained. Humans fear versus Orcs increased. Do not hesitate to explore other paths for Grolk and its fight. Stay tuned to know what the consequences are in your consequence of your actions in next Orc Rising stories. Huh. So he's planning on doing like a sequel for this game? Interesting. Okay, I guess, alright. I don't know why you want to save here, but okay. Well, gonna go back to the title, because I don't think I can continue going forward here. Alright, that was interesting. You know what? I'm gonna try another path here. Because, you know what? This video is at 7 minutes, and, okay, we're gonna skip all this. And I think you guys want to see something interesting, so... skip. Okay, there we go. So, which one do I want to do this time? Do I want to do resistance forming against their oppressors? Filled by grief and anger? I think we'll go for this one. After a few days of research, Grolk found a small group of orcs gathering in different tribes to rebel against human and elf governments. Wait, didn't I already read this? Yeah, I've already read this. Oh, well then, I already jumped ahead. Okay, yeah, no, I'm gonna go back to the title. Cause yeah, I've already saw that! I want to do something completely different, please! Hopefully those... Okay, so we're gonna skip all this. There we go. Okay, so... You know what? I'm gonna go with fueled by grief and anger this time. Grolk has decided to seek revenge against the human and elves who killed some of his relatives and sets out on a dangerous journey to attack a human or elf settlement filled with anger and hate. He travels through treacherous terrain. Grolk faces many challenges and obstacles. He encounters other hostile orc tribes who try to stop him, but he fights them off with ease, driven by his thirst for revenge. Grolk moves closer to his target, becomes an excellent fighter, and leading a small group of elite fighters. His skills and leadership are put to the test as he faces increasingly dangerous enemies and obstacles. Despite his challenges, Grolk is determined to seek his revenge to the end. He will stop at nothing to avenge the deaths of his loved ones and bring justice to the orcs. Grolk and his elite fighters have finally reached the human city they've been seeking. They are tired, hungry, and ready for revenge. Grolk surveys the city from a distance and sees that it's heavily fortified, guarded by numerous soldiers and fortified walls. I'll be stealthy. Grolk decides to lead a stealthy attack on the human settlement, and a few of his most skilled fighters sneak into the settlement under the cover of darkness to begin sabotaging key structures and supplies. The mission is a success. Grolk and his fighters are able to cause significant damage without alerting the humans to their presence. They sneak out of the settlement undetected, but as they make their escape, one of Grolk's fighters accidentally knocks over a lantern, creating one small fire. Humans quickly discover the fire and start searching for the source of the attack. Grolk and his fighters must make a quick escape, but they are eventually discovered and forced to fight their way out. Despite their attack, the stealthy attack left the humans confused and uncertain about the source of the attack. They may be more paranoid and suspicious of the Orcs in the area, making it easier for Grolk and his fighters to move around undetected in the future. Oh. Hate against the Orcs increased, capable of stealth operations, do not... Okay then. Interesting. Okay then. So, I guess there's multiple different, endings to this, and you know what? It's kind of taking like a bit of a Doki Doki Literature Club type thing here. Okay, says didn't... Let's attack the humans and elves by surprise. Grolk joins the battle, using his fighting skills to help the Orcs fight off the humans and elves. After a hard-fought battle, the Orcs are victorious and the humans and elves retreat. Victory short-lived, as the humans and elves will likely seek revenge for their defeat, and the Orc situation remains precarious. Didn't I already get this ending? Wow. Okay. So there are multiple endings, but more than likely you're probably going to end up getting the same ending. Okay, so we're gonna skip all this, okay? We're just gonna go to travel outside the village. And let's try negotiating. Wins them over. Orcs agree to seek a peaceful solution with the humans and elves. Grolk is appointed as the representation. Are difficult and tense, but Grolk's diplomatic skills likely lead to a compromise that satisfies all parties involved. Okay, so this is probably like the best ending. Orcs and humans and elves agree to a tentative peace, and Grolk's efforts are hailed as a diplomatic triad situation remains precarious. So, okay, this is another different ending. Okay, so far there seems to be 3 separate endings. Able to be a diplomat. The skill will be useful for the incoming journey. Do not hesitate to explore other paths for Grolk's fight. Okay, then. Well, that's actually kind of interesting. I kind of like the idea of having these, multiple endings. That's actually pretty interesting, I'm not going to lie. But I wonder, is there anything else here? I'm just going to take a quick look. Let's auto-skip. There we go. Alright. You know what? Let's go with sabotage and retreat. Okay, Grolk decides to sabotage the human settlement from a distance, then retreat back to Orc territory. He and his fighters launch a series of raids on a key supply caverns and patrols, slowly weakening the human forces and disrupting their ability to sustain themselves. Sabotage is successful. The humans become frustrated and demoralized. However, they eventually adapt to attacks and respond with more aggressive tactics, making it difficult for Grolk and his fighters to continue with their raids. The Orcs left with a difficult decision whether to continue the attacks or retreat back to safety, knowing that continuing their attacks will cause more casualties and more of an aggressive response from the humans, but they also know that retreating could mean losing the ground and allowing the humans to gain more power. I think we'll have to retreat for now. Grolk decided to retreat and give up on sabotaging the human settlement. He realizes that the risks are too high, and the consequences of being caught would be disastrous for his people. He returns to his own tribe and focuses on building up resources and strength instead. At first, many of Grolk's fighters are disappointed with the decision, as they hope to continue their attacks to the human. However, Grolk happens to know that the long-term benefits of building up their own strength and resources outweigh the short-term gains of sabotage. Grolk and his fighters spend their time building up their own resources, training fighters to prepare potential future conflict with humans and elves, and this may lead to less immediate success and gratification. It also allows the Orcs to prepare for a potential future conflict with humans and elves, which may ultimately be more effective in the long-term run. Okay then, so Grolk is the one the already... Wait, how come it says diplomat though? Okay then. Well then. I guess there's only so many titles that they gave him. Well, actually, that was kind of interesting. Actually, the visual novel style does kind of lead to another interesting style of simulator, when you think about it. And to tell you the truth, it's kind of nice to see a visual novel game that isn't a dating simulator. I mean, it actually is kind of nice. I know that there are other visual novels out there that isn't dating simulators in any way, shape, or form, but truth be told, they're kind of a dime a dozen. I mean, well, they're not really a dime a dozen. Shoot. Okay, it's kind of interesting to not see a visual novel. It's kind of interesting to see a visual novel that isn't a dating simulator, because dating simulator visual novels are usually a dime a dozen. But in this case, this was a little bit different for me. And actually, to tell you the truth, it's kind of interesting to see how they explored the visual novel style in this way. I mean, sure though, with those visual novels, there is something about gameplay that is usually much to be desired, which is understandable for a lot of people, because, yeah, I do wish that there was a little more of, like, tactics and such inside this game, with the visual novel elements and such, but hey, look, it's a minor improvement. It's not like... It's kind of a minor thing, though. It's more of a nitpick more than anything, and really, some people would probably understand that as well, too. I mean, some people would also understand the nitpick thing, too. I mean, because, yeah, even nitpicks can be considered a part of criticism, too. Though, I will admit, the music's actually pretty good in this game. Credit to Darren Curtis, according to the title screen here. And you know what? Actually, I think this is actually rather interesting. I want to see how this develops. So, anyway, if you like this video, please be sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to I'm forgetting my own outro again. Okay, if you like this video, please be sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and comment down below, and I'll see you all in the next video. This is Superchocolatemilkshake, signing off.